You don't sell the product. You present the solution. The distributor is the best customer because they buy product for themselves and they
Yeah.
buy product for other people. A business is non-emotional.
Mm.
All
Oh,
it
that's the key.
understands is numbers. One of the biggest lessons I had is my job when I join a company is to help somebody else become successful. If the shoe fits, put it on, wear it. If it doesn't, go on to the one that does.
What's more important, the mentor or the company?
But it still boils down to your understanding, what you want, how you perceive it, and how you're coached or helped or supported. And that's probably where 99% of the people lose. The initial conversation is critical to understand circumstance.
Yeah.
Because then the plan can be tailored to circumstance. Here's what happens when people who have the same objectives do. They get together, they think, they collaborate, they brainstorm, they work together. There's a big myth about, well, network marketing is focused on recruiting other people. It just depends on what you know and what you don't know and how you approach it.
Welcome, welcome. This is Gull Khan, your money mindset expert. And today, once again, I'm so excited. We have the amazing, the wonderful Dave Rolfe. Welcome, Dave.
Welcome, Gull. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day. I am.
I am having a fantastic day. Thank you so much, Dave. Dave, we had such a fabulous conversation with you on Friday Feature. We had to have you back on Money Talkies. And once again, everyone's heard you're interested. They know how fabulous we are. But please, in your own words, tell everybody what it is that you do.
All right. Well, right now I'm a teacher and a mentor to people that are interested in developing or building a network marketing business. And because of my experience, my understanding, and my knowledge, I became an expert. And there isn't really much I don't know about the industry, so it provides a great insight to allow somebody else to make the right decisions and do the right things to become successful in their own rights.
Wonderful. So today we're talking about how to take advantage of $1 billion industry. Now, the question is, what industry are we talking about, Rolf, Dave? So tell us that. What is this? Everyone thinks, well, $1 billion industry, and it's growing day by day. I know for a fact it's growing multitudes every day. What industry are we referring to?
Well, there's basically two industries that I'm involved with. One is that it's direct sales. So it's marketing products to consumers in a couple of ways. And then the other is we're in the wellness industry. Now, the wellness industry has been going on since the early 90s, maybe even before. And it seems that everybody wants to be well. So it's a combination of those two things.
Wonderful. And I know that the companies that I've looked at and the ones I've actually have been, and I've been a consumer at least for the last 17 years, would be something like Herbalife. And I do like their products and I do enjoy using them. But we're talking about direct sales in terms of the other name for it is network marketing. As soon as we say network marketing, people are put off by it. So why are people reluctant to partake in this industry?
It's kind of like the dating game in a sense that, you run into a certain personality that just don't get along with, you run into a situation you don't agree with. But from experience, it's because there's been a lack of success. And success is a relative term. So success can mean different things to different people. And in today's world, when people look at doing a business or, a side hustle, I think in the United States, 38% of the population does a side hustle of some kind. And so it's not that this is a foreign aspect. It's truly a mainstream and can be a mainstream, and it can be a wealth builder. It just depends on what you know and what you don't know and how you approach it.
So I think that would be fair to say. A lot of the people, including myself, I would not be interested in network marketing. I suppose I had some success with it when I first started, and I was looking to do a business around my daughter. My daughter was just born at the time. But I was very keen to be a stay-at-home mom rather than go into, after our maternity, go back into law. and do the 80, 90 hours that I was used to. But however, the success I achieved was short-lived. It didn't carry on, and I didn't get to the level I thought I was going to get to. So, I think that put me off for the rest of my life, and I never ever entertained any other network marketing company out thereafter. So, but then I did a number of other businesses, and then eventually found my success through various other ones, and I'm now, alhamdulillah, very, very successful in my sector. But my understanding is most people who enter network marketing fail. Why is that?
Well, it's just what you just said is the actual story. It's like, people try different things and they're not suited for it. They don't get the right education about it. They don't learn the specifics about it.
Mm.
And as a result, they don't do what they need to do to find out what's, important to them. And it boils down to how it works.
Mm.
And one of the biggest lessons I had is my job when I join a company is to help somebody else become successful. So the focus is not on me, but let's say I was to bring you into my business. My job would be to find out, one, what is it that you want? Number two, show you what would have to happen for you to get that. And then teach you about the company, about the product, about what you have to say and what activities work, and then support and help you do those things. So it starts with, this is the typical thing, so that the uneducated get in touch with the uneducated and say, I emotionally get people involved.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. A business is non-emotional. All it
that's the key.
understands is numbers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the month, if the business doesn't have any money, it just sits there.
Yeah.
Now, you might get frustrated because you're the human that runs the business, so then it becomes your job to solve the problem and run the business and understand what activities would change that. And that was the view that changed how I went from not being successful to being successful. I would bring in people into the business. Let me just say this. There's a big myth about, network marketing is focused on recruiting other people. Well, what they're missing in that is they don't understand the business is the distributor is the best customer because they buy product for themselves. And they buy product for other people. They buy product to demonstrate. So if you're a car dealer, you're going to invest in your cars. You're going to drive that car. You're going to, all of those kind of things. So it's kind of a silly misunderstanding about a concept that's very workable. So it boiled down to, if the shoe fits, put it on, wear it. If it doesn't, go on to the one that does. And what happened with uneducated people, they would go after people that were unqualified. And the unqualified became rejection. And the rejection hit up here as it was something going on with me that's not okay. And again, the lesson was, rejection means unqualified. So, and I learned that in corporate America by being trained in selling and going after investments in the oil and gas industry. And, there were people that were just non-investors. Well, fine, you're not qualified. But it was interesting that the non-qualified were the biggest naggers and negatives. And, they would throw out all kinds of stuff. You're bad, you're no good, it doesn't work. But really, they'd never done it. They'd never had success. So it's kind of like what goes on in social media. Unfortunately, social media has got to a point where almost anything is out there. You don't know if it's real or if it's not. And it's confusing people. It's changing the landscape. It's affecting all kinds of things. Especially, we just had this hurricane here. And there's people that are putting out false images of damage in areas to scare people of how bad it was, when in fact, there wasn't a problem. There wasn't an issue. And so that's where it goes. Well, the same thing happened with our industry, was that just people didn't get the right education, didn't know what to do, went out and did what they thought And then, it would be like me cooking a chicken dinner for Christmas. You'd be lucky if it was cooked.
I mean, I know that people like Robert Kiyosaki, he was a really big supporter of network marketing. I remember when I
Sure.
first started in Herbalife, we were given, told to buy this book by Robert Kiyosaki where he recommends, that this is, if he had to start all over again, he will start with network marketing and how it allows people to start on shoestrings and literally build, a very successful, prosperous businesses. And I think if I go back and look at my training days, I suppose it was, but there was a lot of false hope. There was a lot of I don't know, sales pitch, I think. I think that was the case. And not enough training on how to sell the products because I mean, now looking back in hindsight, the first thing you need to do is be able to sell the product, understand the product and sell the product, no?
No, no, no. You see, we don't, you don't sell the product.
Oh, okay.
You present the solution.
Okay.
So for example, we have a water product.
Yeah.
It creates alkaline water, it gives you the best, it provides mineralization, it's very inexpensive. Everybody drinks water. So if you live in an area that's polluted, has they say that water's got all water's got birth control in it, all water has drugs in it, and they have a hard time cleaning it up. They got to put in all kinds of chemicals. And so you're really getting dead water, not good, solid water. So
Mm.
if you're in that industry and you're in that awareness band and you want the best water you can, how easy is it going to be for me to talk to you about water?
Pretty easy.
Exactly. So I don't have to sell you. All I have to do is inform you. Now, here's the flip side on the economics. If you're out of a job or if you need to make extra money or you're trying to figure out what to do, and that's important to you, and I show you a solution, see, here's what I can't do. I can't sell you to do the business. That doesn't work.
Mm.
Because if you don't do the business, it doesn't do me any good either.
Mm.
So you got to be a willing participant that really wants to do that, work with a mentor and work as a partnership, that creates the agreement. So if this is not for you, next. And that's how you do it. So what most people do is they go and talk to the wrong people.
Yeah, they talk to family and friends,
Yeah.
the wrong people altogether.
Now, there are situations, I've been involved with that, where sometimes the head of the family is there's a hierarchy and they listen to the head of the family and they do what the family says. And there's been some very successful enterprises. Look at Walmart,
Mm.
the family. And so that's happened in our business. It's happened in many of the network marketing companies where somebody at the head of the family's made it work and then taught the rest of the family how to take advantage of it. But it still boils down to your understanding, what you want, how you perceive it, and how you're coached or helped or supported. And that's probably where 99% of the people lose because well, come on, get involved. Okay, you get involved. Well, call me if you need my help. And people don't call. Now, here's how I learned that. I talk to people in stadiums, 8, 10, 12,000 people. And at the end of my spiel, I would say, if you need my help, give me a call. Give them my phone number. Now, you'd think I'd give you my phone number to 8 or 10,000 people, I'd be swamped.
Yeah.
I didn't get calls. And the reason that it took me a while well, why aren't they calling me? Because I want to help.
Mm.
And they don't know how to be helped. So that's why it goes back to the original conversation. And the original conversation's got to do a deep dive into who they are, their experience, what they've done, what they're familiar with, all of those kind of things, because we don't do anything different than any other job in the world.
Mm.
We have a product to market, and we've got the consumer to get it, and then we've got how do you distribute that? Well, what's Amazon do today? It has, all these ways where you can be an Amazon rep and you can copy pictures on Amazon and put up on your webpage. And Spotify does this, they all do this. And so they've got an army of people that are doing that, hoping people go to their website to buy the product.
Mm.
Well, there's a way more control with what we do, and you don't need social marketing to do it because it's a who do you know business, and it's based on, this is how I started. I went to the first guy and I needed to make $8,000. That was my nut. And so I realized quickly that I've got to find somebody that needs what I need. Here's what happens when people who have the same objectives do. They get together, they think, they collaborate, they brainstorm, they work together, they figure out how to get it, you just go for it. But when you don't have somebody to work with and you're trying to do that by yourself, it gets sticky.
Yep. And it may be demoralizing as well. Yeah.
Yep. And then now there's two of you, you have the agreement. Now the both of you go and build his business. Because in network marketing, whatever he makes, you make.
Yeah.
And so you get him to a point where he's successful, then you can go do that again. And then he's successful, he's on his way, and he knows how to do it. He's doing the same thing. You do it again, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. And that's all I did. But they were all people that wanted to solve a problem, and I showed them a solution. They made the decision to engage, and once they did that, the agreement was I would support and help them all the way to where they wanted to go. And that was the difference that I missed in the early parts.
So if we break this down into steps, how can you give us a step-by-step process of how we can take advantage of this industry? So the question is how to take advantage of $1 billion industry. So can you break this down in step-by-step process?
Well, if you're it depends if you're in an existing company and you're trying to make it work, or you're trying to find a company that to make it work.
Assuming we're starting from scratch, and we've just come across the idea that such things, direct sales exist. So someone's and is thinking, okay, I need to start a side hustle. What's the step-by-step process?
Okay, first you got to find a company that you resonate with, that you like their products and you like their technologies, and you can use them, get a benefit, and you can talk about them.
Okay.
Number two would be find the expert in the area and understand how the business works, then how their plan works, learn what to say and communicate, and then create the activities. You launch your business. It's time, like, let's say you were an attorney and you wanted to launch your business, hang your shingle. You have an open house, you invite people over, this is what I'm doing. You figured that out, and there's lots of strategies that are already in the books about this. So you just pick the one that your mentor is going to teach you how to do and you like. You launch the business and you look for the first partner.
So who's
the objective right off the get-go is to find somebody to play with. I listened to one of your podcasts. You were talking about finding somebody to play with as a kid, because when you're kids, you find somebody to play with, you play.
Yeah.
So to make this work, that's what you got to do, because 2 become 4, become 8, becomes 16, becomes 30. That's how it grows. But if you don't have somebody to play with, then it doesn't go anywhere. So that would be the step by step, and then over time it goes to where it goes.
How important is it to find the right company or finding the right mentor?
Huge.
So which is more important?
You might even consider going to a legacy company or somebody that's been around for 5 or 10 years, because startups sometimes don't make it. So you can get involved with a startup. And, when I joined this company, it had already been in business for, 15 years outside of the United States. And it had tremendous success. So when it came to the United States, it already had a proven track record of success. And that's what you want to do, because they do all the administration, they have the warehouse, they do all the accounting, they pay you. It's an e-commerce system. It's turnkey. And most of them will charge you, $50 to $60 to get going, and that's it. You should buy product, because if you're going to be a product of the product, so that you can talk.
Yep.
And here's the bottom line: it's all you do is talk.
But that still doesn't answer the question of, what's more important, the mentor or the company? Is if you see somebody who could be a great mentor like yourself, can be a great mentor, would it be better to go and join the company that the mentor has, or to find the right company? Because but the mentor isn't there.
That would be really good. Right now, my focus is on training and education, and I can do that as an option. I can depends on the circumstance.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of like I hear Tony Robbins is back on the warpath again, and he's helping other people build their business, and he had tremendous success, and he's coming back. And you could say, well, why doesn't he go back to the old system when he could do the new system? He's working on a different aspect of his involvement with what he's done.
Hmm.
And, it's something that I've entertained, and I don't want to come across as, well, this is a recruitment for you.
Hmm.
It can be if we have a conversation. The bottom line is what's important is, who are you?
Yeah.
And what's your life about? And are you, maybe you are concerned with wellness. Maybe you do want to do something like that. Maybe, you've got experience. You like Herbalife. I did Herbalife too. I mean, we all did Herbalife.
I did it a lot later. I did it in 2007.
Yeah.
So
I started when it was happening in the 80s.
yeah, I think Mark Hughes had already died by the time I joined. So
Yes, yes. He died shortly after from a drug overdose, unfortunately. And Larry Thompson, his right-hand man, was again a mentor, and went off and did a number of other things.
yeah.
But another way to look at this is like how people attorneys go from a firm to a firm to a firm based
Yeah.
on how baseball players go from one team to the other. Football players, are romanced to other teams. Accountants go from one firm to the other. Same thing happens in our industry, because it's, again, you get attracted, you like what they have, you've got a better support system, you got a stronger company, that kind of an aspect.
Okay. So one final question then. Who is network marketing or the direct sales not for?
Somebody that doesn't like to communicate, somebody that doesn't like hanging around with lots of people. And I've done some personality tests, and one of the questions is, do you like speaking to groups? And the answer is yes. It's the world's worst fear.
Hmm.
So you don't want to be your own boss. You don't like to, be in that responsibility. So those are the areas. Probably it's 50% of the population are probably no good for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the being your own boss is not as big a deal. I think most people want to be their own boss, but I do believe that you should. I think that I didn't do this at the time, but I think if you have a stable, some sort of somewhat stable income on one hand, then you start network marketing on the side. It takes the pressure off and
Yeah.
allows you to learn a lot better. So I think that's a little bit caveat that I'll add to it, that you should have a stable income, an alternative stable income, and then build your business in network marketing on the side.
Or you've got enough cash in the bank that you can live for a period of time. And
Yeah.
again, it's like the craze of flipping homes,
Yeah.
buying them, and again, some people do really well. They buy a house, they cost it out properly, they flip it, they make a ton of money, and other people are stuck and they lose,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars in doing that. So the initial conversation is critical to understand circumstance,
Yeah.
because then the plan can be tailored to circumstance. Now, I started full time right from the get go,
Mm.
and within 4 months, I hit my target of my nut. So that then it just increased from that point in time. Whereas some people would take maybe a year and a half to do that. So it's a matter of, circumstance, time, and what you have to do and how fast you learn what to do.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to wrap this up. Tell us again, Dave, where can we find you on the internet? How can we connect with you?
But okay, you can give me a call. No, you could go to besmarterwithdave.com, and you can download a free report, and then you can book a call with me, and we can chat. and then get a better understanding. And what my purpose of that is to help you make a decision of where you want to go based on who you are and how you can then either learn or change things or move forward.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, if you are listening to us on a podcast, the links for Dave would be on the show notes. And if you're watching the YouTube, then down below in the description section, we'll have the link for him too. Do check him out and see how he can help you. And especially if you're thinking of having a side hustle, check him out, see how he can support you. Well, thank you so much for coming today. We've learned so much. I've revisited network marketing after a long time, but it's been interesting. Thank you so much for being us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Golden. It was a pleasure to speak with you and to talk. It was great.
Thank you so much. And thank you for listening to me and Dave today on Wednesday's Money Talkies. I will be back with another amazing guest, finding out how you and I can build a better business. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull Khan signing off. Take care and bye for now.